So let's talk about this movie. This movie's called The Farm. It was made in 2018. Um, I'm in several different horror Facebook groups, and this film came up, and it was one of those that was free on Tubi. So I thought, what the hell, I'd give it a watch. And yeah, I want to talk about it a little bit. So as I'm sure you can tell by that poster, this is something along the lines of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of thing, or at least that's what they were attempting to go for. Um, so yeah, the acting in it is there's three main characters in it: Vera, Alec, and the landlord, and none of them are bad actors. Are none of them are really good, but none of them are really bad. Um, some moments in it are better than others. The cinematography at the beginning of it is pretty good, because it was pretty good to me. It's shot in a traditional Hollywood kind of movie way, with a clear, crisp focus on the main characters and people that they come in contact with. But as the movie goes on, they kind of go art house with it, where all the characters that are in the forefront are in focus, but everything behind them is out of focus, and you can tell this is intentional, because for the most part, it just gets fuzzier and fuzzier and less focused as the movie goes on. Like I said, I don't think the actors do a bad job, but they don't do a great job. The second half of it, the performances are kind of flat. So the score for this is one of those that is neither good nor bad. I don't remember anything about it, which at least it wasn't bad. At least I don't remember it for being jarring and taking you out of it, but it doesn't really sell it, at least not convincingly. It's just sort of background noise, which I don't know. It's neither here nor there. It's just bland. A lot of the movie kind of comes off that way as well. It's not a stellar movie, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It doesn't pull off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel, but it tries. It tries hard for it. Well, not really. So like I said, by the poster that I put up, you can tell it's a cannibalistic kind of thing. The one thing that TCM did, and did super well, was that while it had a agenda, it didn't shove it down your throat. You could turn off the subtext and watch it for what it was. And this movie, you cannot do that. This movie is, well, honestly, it's using a human amalgamation to show you the evils of the farm, of the meat industry. It doesn't have a story to tell you. It has an agenda, and that's really all it really is. It's almost impossible to take that out of it and enjoy it for the movie that it is. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, maybe you'll champion this movie for those ideas, but you're stuck with them. They shove them down your throat in a way that is extremely unpleasant. I will give I will give kind of a trigger warning. It's not so much a spoiler exactly. You figure out what's going to happen pretty quickly. But I will give a trigger warning. I know that sort of thing bothers a lot of people. There is a scene of forced insemination, which, while you don't actually see, it's kind of like what they did with Lights Out. It's a forced insemination story point in it. So if that's something that you can't deal with, then there's a scene there. And then there's a scene later on, I don't want to give spoilers on it, but there is a scene later on that is a direct correlation to veal, shall we say. Without giving too much of it away, you can pretty well see it coming. Skip 20 seconds, you'll miss that and keep going. I will give it points for practical effects. It's a very low budget, so there's not any CGI in it. All the effects that are done are practical. A lot of them are off camera or just out of camera, so that you see splatter, but you don't see them actually, doing things. There's people getting hit in the head with the sledgehammers in a couple of different things, and it looks well enough. It's practical effects. It's done well enough. The effects kind of feel, for practical effects, feel very 80s. So that's not really necessarily a bad thing, but it's not great either. It's just not up to, 40 years later. A couple of scenes you can definitely tell that it's a bust, and yeah, so, if you can suspend your disbelief on the gore and effects on it, or turn it back, maybe it'll even give you nostalgic vibes. It kind of did me. That's why I don't say it's necessarily a bad thing. It's definitely a nostalgia vibe on that. So overall, my rating for this one is a C. It's dead center in the middle of it all. There's nothing great. There's nothing horrible. I can't recommend it, but I can't tell you avoid this at all costs. It's not a shitstorm, but I don't see it becoming a cult classic. I don't see it having the staying power. You find yourself late at night on Tubi with nothing to watch, it'll kill an hour and a half. You won't be mad that you wasted an hour and a half, but you wasted an hour and a half. So overall, I'll give it a C rating on that. And yeah, this is kind of why I don't really do straight movie reviews. I just do the rankings. But hey, if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit my merch store. The Vape Mob shirts like this one with the state flag on it and the full moon shirt are down in the description below. Advocacy links, if you're here for both sides of my channel, definitely check those out. My personal links, if you want to contribute and help out the channel, I do have a PayPal down there. Anything that comes in from that or from the t-shirt sales goes right back into buying things for the channel. I want to thank you so much for sticking around. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've seen this, let me know. If you haven't seen this, well, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do with it. And as always, y'all be safe.